Do you send out recipes?
We got recipes. Yes, we do.
They're all on the website.
Or are they? Whoops.
I'm just curious what makes mac and cheese gourmet. When you just throw some parsley and breadcrumbs on top of it? Is that
Yeah. I thought it was gourmet.
Yeah.
We'll just let the video play out and then allow more people to get on, and then we'll get started.
Dr. Madison in today.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Jay Morse here from Woodstone. I'm going to be driving the bus today. Hopefully, it's interactive, I hope. If you have any questions, you can blurt out if you'd like, or you can shoot them into the chat, and I will glance at that myself. And then I've got other folks on here as well if there's things we need to jump in and do. Everyone can hear me okay, right? Yes? Okay, good, good. I'm getting the thumbs up and the okay signs and all that. So cool. All right. So sorry for my asking this question. You can see, right now you can see the wood stone and the flame on the screen, correct? Okay, good deal. All right. Well, we're going to jump right in. We're going to make it a little different. We've been doing this on a weekly basis. The difference today is just going to be a little bit. We're going to take. Please ask questions, either typing them in or asking them, and we're going to keep track of who does that. And at the end, we're going to draw. We won't do it during the video, but we're going to draw a name, and someone is going to get a new Woodstone sweatshirt. So that's your little incentive for listening and asking questions. So thank you. Here we go. All right. We're going to start off with the Fire Deck series. We've been making ovens since 1990. The Fire Deck series came along a little bit down the road from when the company started. The idea was to make a product that could compete against the likes of the deck ovens like the Baker's Prides and the Blodges of the world, the Y600s, the Y800s, that some pretty popular ovens. The first one that we came out with was the Fire Deck 8645. That's the second one in the lineup there, the second smallest. The series fits more readily under a hood than the other types of ovens. The floors are 4 inches thick. The domes are 4 inches thick. They're both poured as a single piece, and then we marry them all together in the factory. We wrap them with stainless steel strapping to hold everything together, and then we wind it all up with some insulation as well. That gives us the ability to put these within 1 inch of a combustible surface. And that was kind of revolutionary when we first came out with it, because a lot of the ovens that were doing this in the stone hearth segment, you could not get too close to anything, even if it was non-combustible. So that was huge for us. We were able to make larger cooking surfaces with smaller overall footprints, so you could save your restaurateur customers some space, which is key. As we all know, that's one of the most expensive parts of the whole restaurant operation. The great things with the Fire Deck series is the underfloor infrared burner. The infrared burner the way I always describe it, it's like our secret sauce part of the equation. That allows you to have an oven that will always maintain your cooking times. The cooking times are critical on the weekends and holidays when you've got customers coming in, or just, you're just getting hammered with orders. You're not telling customers, oh, this is going to be an extra 15 minutes or 10, 20 minutes extra. And, less table turns, causing your restaurant to make less money. So with the IR burner, it maintains your deck set point, and you can maintain your temperatures so that you can have your same cook times, 3 to 5, 6, whatever your minutes are, depending on what types of products you're cooking in the oven. The most popular oven in our series, in our whole company right now, for the last few years, has been the 9660. That's the third one in on there that you've seen, and pretty much everyone online, rep-wise, has sold these into their territories, and if they're customers as well, I'm sure you've seen this oven. It's in quite a few chains. Mod Pizza, Pyology Pizza, Blaze, to name a few. And it's also popular with our some of our larger customers that we've had around for a long time, like Wolfgang Puck. Let's see here. There's, as you can see on the sheet and inside the website and also in the spec sheet, we give the size of the oven, capacity of pizzas that it will handle from either a 12 or 16 inch to help to size the oven. You can also do a lot of different facades, or if you wanted to, you can tile directly on the oven. We can also do, we can put backer board on the oven at the factory, and it can ship that way to just pretty much any type of look that you're going for. We have that available for you. We've got a new oven. It's the debut has been delayed a little bit because of all of the show, postponements and also cancellations. Most of us would have been on planes or cars heading out to Chicago today or yesterday. So, pour one out for the NRA show this year. We were going to have the Fire Deck Automatic there. The nice thing with the Fire Deck Automatic is that it takes some of the learning curve and shortens it tremendously for the customers. You can do things more, hence the name automatic. You've got opportunities to clean at the push of a button at the end of the day with a thermal cleaning. You can also set, you just turn on the buttons and let it fly. We've got more thermocouples in the floor of the oven than on our standard ovens. That's sensing the load on the floor so that you can have the oven not overheating or underheating. The oven also comes with our new debris mantle, which you can't really see it there, but we'll talk about that more as we move along. We've got some specific slides on that down the pipe here. But it's a great piece. It's got different, it's hard to see in the picture, but we have a digital display on the front. It's kind of a pretty new controller for Woodstone, but it's got a lot of great little things in there. It's got service codes available. So when we're working with the service managers, when you're calling into the company, you can just check, give them the code, and then they can speed up the service of the unit as well. Any questions on this one? I know a little kind of fast on that guy, but that's new and coming down the pipe here. Okay, so it looks like there's lots of questions in the list here. Let's see here. Typical lead time for the Fire Deck, Vicky. Typical lead time is 6 to 8 weeks. Always encouraged a phone call. Talk to us about a project, and we'll see what we can do. Woodstone, we build everything to order. So if you order an oven, our standard lead time is 6 to 8 weeks. Some of the larger ovens, it might stretch out a little bit, but again, pick up the phone, give us a call on the 800 number, and we'll handle that for you. Let's see here. Oh, there you go. Linda answered it on the digital. I guess it should read down. Thank you, Linda. Teamwork right there. Okay. And it says, and Howard has a note here. Could you place the Fire Deck Auto in an outdoor application like the others? I'm going to just flying off the seat of my pants. I'm going to say, like we answer with the Fire Decks, you've got to have some coverage there. You can't just stick it out in the middle of a field or something and fire it up. Tell me that's not a beautiful tile installation on that oven there. That's beautiful. I love stainless steel and fire, and that's, we've got these beautiful tiles like a glass tile. I love that. So that's just to get you excited about what you can do. This is great to show your designers and your consultants and your clients as well, your end user restaurateurs. That is our Mountain Series. These are the first ovens that Woodstone created back in 1990. Strictly wood-fired, just same early generations of our ceramic formula that we're currently using, but it's the building blocks of the whole enterprise. The Mountain Series comes the same 4 inches thick floor, monolithically poured all at once. Same with the dome, 4 inches thick, poured all at once, put together with this stainless steel strapping and wrapped in insulation. These are the ovens that we were going directly after some of the original Italian style ovens back in early 1990s. We offer this in the 4, 5, 6, and 7 foot configurations, and each one has its own purpose. Probably the most popular, it bounces between the Mount Adams, the 5 footer, and the Mount Baker, the 6 footer. Just depending on your client's availability, that's based on how much is available. Chains like California Pizza Kitchen, they've been a longtime customer since around 1996. And they like the Mount Rainier 7 footer. So I'm sure most of you have been inside a California Pizza Kitchen to see these ovens, and they're beautiful when they're going. They've got their yellow tile going around and everything too. So this is cool. When we came out, it's a very simple operation. We also added on the infrared burner that can go underneath the floor. Underneath the floor of the Mountain Series, and that gets you the same items you'll get from the fire deck, where you'll have your cook times will stay the same no matter what your load is for the night. You're only limited by the size. We always recommend, if you're doing a strictly pizza restaurant where you're doing a lot of pizza products, you don't want to go with the 4 foot unit. It's just not going to be enough for you. But those are questions that the reps can help with. And also you call into the factory and talk to our customer care folks, talk to the regional managers as well, or we can help you out in sizing the ovens. Pretty straightforward, very similar to the fire deck, except now you've got the round shapes of ovens where that's where you get those beautiful, the silos like in the picture before. We can put it behind walls and put a curve in front of it, or you can just have it a flat front in front of it as well. That tends to take more foot space or floor space. It just depends on what your clients want to do. Okay, so here we go. Then now this slide showing, it says handy in a tight space. That means we're going smaller here. big ovens, little tiny ovens. What we're looking at here, this is the Bistro family. So it's the third and final family of ovens that we make. The Bistro line is the newest line of our ovens. We came out with these for a few reasons. Initially, we had our folks that represent the line in the UK. They needed something smaller that we could ship easily in a container, and that they could easily install it for clients. These ovens can be separated from their stands quite easily. You can do those things with the other families, but it's harder because they're bigger and they're heavier. But there's ways to make that happen. The Bistro series goes all the way from our tiny little 30 by 30 all the way up to the 48 by 36. And most of these will fit under a standard hood system. So these are great when you're doing a retrofit, or maybe taking out a double stack convection oven or a range, maybe a 6 burner or something like that will fit in. The differences between the Bistro series, the other ovens have 4 inches thick on the dome and the floor. It's 3 inches thick on the Bistro series. It's such a small chamber that's more than enough to maintain your heat in there. We do not offer the infrared burners in the Bistro series. Again, keeping the costs in more, not in economy, but lesser than some of the larger pieces. And again, primarily you'll see these in restaurants or a bistro or even in pubs where they just want to throw in, maybe do some appetizers. I would say it's a great, like a tapas kind of piece. You could put these behind the funniest little installation I ever saw. They had a 30 by 30, and the only thing they were using it was to warm bread rolls. So it was in a little hospital I saw a few years back, but I thought that was kind of cool. But most of these sizes are available as well on our home site. If you wanted to look at woodstonehome.com, the picture you're seeing there, that's a home installation. Again, all of our ovens have a pizza capacity, which is great when you're talking with the customer about, how much product you're going to do. You can use the pizza sizing, but then they don't only have to do pizza. Just like the video that opened up this whole presentation, we can cook just about anything inside these. You just have to have the right vessel, stainless steel platters, stainless steel vessels. The first on the left side there is the traditional series. We came out with that a few years ago, and it's more of I describe it to people as, I say it's a beehive style, or beehive shape, or an igloo shape. This leans more towards some of the Italian styles you've seen out in the field, different ways to facade the oven. But that one's beautiful there. I don't know if the rep's on that was part of that project, but I think that's one of the most beautiful traditional series setups I've seen. Just gives you a great idea. If you're creative, the thing's a pallet waiting for you. It ships just as you see it below there. It comes in a 5-foot and a 6-foot. And the main difference here is we've just routed the ventilation comes out right directly over the center of the oven. That's where you're getting that round shape. So that's, but it still has the same 4-inch thick of the cast refractory ceramic. It's got the single piece dome, single piece floor. You've got the infrared burner. Again, great piece. We shipped that thing ready to be tiled in the field. You just have to hook up with a person that does tile for you. Let's see if there's any other parts in there. You can, the flame, didn't cover this, I'm sorry, on the Mountain Series. You can choose your flame location on the Mountain Series, either on the left or the right or in the back of the oven. And that's crucial because when you're doing the layouts of the ovens, it depends if the designer where they want, in the restaurateur where they want the oven flame, you want your customers to be able to see it, because these pieces are usually in the front of the house, or near the front of the house in the display kitchen. So you want to be able to see the flame. So if that makes more sense on the left or the right, they have that option available. We also offer viewing windows or double door entries as well. The double door entries, they're becoming quite more popular. We've had some clients that are using them where and especially now, they'll have one side of the line that's for the customers coming in and doing the pickups of the food. And then the back side of the oven they're using for more of the mobile ordering, or the app ordering things, or the third-party delivery services. So that's kind of cool. Then that gives you the opportunity where you can say, okay, especially now with people, I think they're, dining rooms are going to shrink down. If it's primarily a pizza concept, the more pies they can knock out, the better. So that might be a good opportunity for a larger oven. With the double doors, you can have, make line on the front, make line on the back, or side to side, however you have it laid out in the kitchen. So Drew was asking about the tiling. Drew, we do not do the tiling at Woodstone. It tends to have issues when you tile and then ship with cracking and things like that. So usually, if we were tiling, we'd have to send a bag of tiles and a bag of grout as well. So we leave that to the folks in the field that are the experts at that. We can get it all ready though, because we can have it with the, as you see in the pic, it might be hard to see on the slide, but that thing's ready to go. It's got the wire it's ready to accept the grout and the tile. But with the other ovens, like the Mountain Series or the Fire Deck or the Bistro, we can do hardy backer board on those if they want to. So it's ready for the client to put the tile on right in the field. Or if they want to do that themselves, they can screw the hardy backer board right into the oven surfaces. Not a problem. Okay. Again, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that extra help there. We're also showing on this slide. I don't know if you can see my note there or not, but there it is. We are also showing a coal-fired oven. We only make the coal-fired ovens in the Fire Deck series, but we've kind of fine-tuned this, and we've kind of seen a resurgence in requests for coal-fired ovens in the last, probably 6 months, I would say. But it's a great oven. Coals is an interesting heat source, but we're not seeing a lot of those in Southern California because everybody's, when we're hugging our trees and kissing, eating our granola, we don't want to burn coal, but they're out there. We make these in a few sizes, 5 sizes available, sorry. And then again, the thing that makes a difference, we have, if you looked in close, we've got a fan built in underneath the deck, and there's a great grid system where you build your coal bed and fire it up. But again, that's a very specialized piece, but we want to throw it out there because we're getting some more interest on the coal-fired ovens. Okay, next we're moving on. The first picture there, you're seeing it's a bagel oven, and we've been making the bagel oven for quite a bit of time. If you're familiar with the Montreal-style bagel, we originally created this working with some folks from Montreal. We debuted this thing at an international bakery show in Las Vegas years ago. I'm going to say 20 plus because I don't remember the exact date, but it was pretty cool. They put the bagels in on this long board. I believe it's called a Shiba. I'm sure my counterparts will correct me if I'm wrong, but the Shiba goes in with the bagels. They cook, and then they flip them over. It's a long line of them. That's why you'll notice that these things are they're more of a orientation from end to end, where you're not going with it. You're not seeing the large side of the oven. You're seeing the shorter side. But again, there's been a bigger uptick in interest on these wood-fired or, as you see here, gas-fired bagel ovens that we're seeing out there. Got a question popped up. The fan on coal-fired is always on the right, correct? Honestly, Gary, I'm not sure of that because I've seen the fan. I believe we could put it on either side. I defer to my counterparts on that one. I've seen them on.
It can go on either side.
There you go. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
So I thought I've signed them both. So yeah, just depend on how your client wants to set it up. And the great thing there, you've got that you open the door and you can clear out the ash from underneath the grate there. The next question here from Carl out in Chicago. How many gallons of soapy water do you throw in the bagel oven to clean it at the end of the night? 0? Soapy and water, bad, Carl.
Okay,
bad.
I just wanted a little levity.
I like that. Thank you. I'm smiling and laughing. I know that. Thank you. You're in the running for the sweatshirt. Watch yourself. So that leads to a good point, Carl. Thank you. Yeah, if your customer's asking you, they're talking about the oven overheating, 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, they've probably left the flames up when there's nothing in the oven or too few products and they've caused the floor to overheat. Solution of some folks is to throw in a little ice because, hey, it's going to cool it down. That's a bad idea. Water, ice, bad to cool down the oven because you're going to cause some severe cracks. You'll know if this has happened if you get called out to go visit a customer and you see something that looks like a spider web. That's some severe thermal shocks happen there. That's why you're seeing those cracks on the floor. But you always want to push customers away from that. The ways to cool down, we always recommend taking like a small terry cloth towel, dipping it in some water, keep the water bucket near the oven, wring it all out so it's not dripping wet. Wrap that around your tea brush and then just run that over the floor. That's I call it swabbing the deck. What you're doing is you're just basically you're not going to cool the whole floor off because it's 4 inches thick, but you're going to take the sting out of the floor, especially if you've had a long break. Between your lunch rush and your dinner rush, the oven's been running, maybe not a lot of products gone inside, but then when you need to throw the first pie in, if you don't do some kind of heat mitigation of removing some of the heat, you're going to probably fry the first pie you throw in there unless you're really good. But that, you want to keep your customers away from using screens and things like that if at all possible. Okay. Again, thanks, Carl. I skipped a big portion there, so I didn't want to miss that. So the bagel oven, we have a few different sizes available. We're not listing all of them here, but you can do wood and gas, or if you just want to do wood, you can do that as well. The next oven you see there is the pita oven. The pita oven is it's an altered bistro oven. The difference being that you have the flames on the left and the right. So the idea, you take your pita dough, you put it in, and then you turn up the flames full blast right when it's inside there, and the pita cooks pretty quick. You'll get that. The great thing with cooking pita, I'm not much of a chef or cook, I should say, cook assistant, whatever. But when it looks like a little pillow, it's done. Take it out. You scoop it out of there and take it on out. But it does a great job. There's quite a few people using this pita bread oven around the country, but I think as a Mediterranean style of food, I know it goes up and down on its popularity, but it seems like it's quite popular right now. So if you have some clients to talk to about it, it does a great job. Next one would be the looking at our tandoors. It's a small picture there, but it's showing two different styles. We've got the round and we've got the barrel. We also offer a square style and then more of like an octagon of a shape. Most folks in a traditional Indian restaurant like to use the round because it's easier to work around. You can walk around the oven as you're at the tandoor as you're working it. They not so much with the square. You can tend to run into the corners, and I'm super clumsy, and I run into every corner and door knob. So I understand that. Oops. Just keep you interested here. Okay. So in the tandoors, you can a lot of a typical installation. They'll have two. One they'll use just for the non-bread, and one for proteins. As you can see in the picture, we've got a bunch of different items in there, some vegetables and some proteins. But this is a great piece. You'll find it's more expensive than other items out there, other tandoors. But this one lasts a long time. We've got ovens. We've got one in Southern California at the gas company. That thing's like, I want to say 15 years old, and it might be a little older than that, but it still looks pretty awesome. Okay. Todd Gardner put on there, it takes about 15 to 30 seconds, and I don't know what he's pertaining to there. I'm babbling. Todd? All right.
Sorry, that's how long it takes to cook a pita in the pita oven. I've had some experience with that. And these were, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 inch diameter pita breads. And it is really fast, so you cannot turn your back on it. So it's
great point.
And we do have a large accessory available. It's sort of like a stainless basket that's got 3 sides, and you scoop the pita bread out in it. And it's a nice accessory too to sell with it.
Yep, I agree. It's huge too. Looks like a massive fly swatter is the way I picture it. All right. So here's this slide showing the various fuel configurations, and so we have wood, we have gas. You can combine the two, wood and gas. We've got coal fired. We have of course, you got the underfloor burner, which is gas. You've got the radiant flames, which are gas. You can all types of fuel configurations available there, depending on what your customer wants to do or what you want to do as a restaurateur. The middle part of that slide shows the different facades. Again, you can have an oven that's sitting all by itself, looking pretty with the fire going, or you can go ahead and add on these extensions for a flat wall, a curved wall. We've got, you've got the one that's nice looking there too is the arch extension. That's kind of cool. And then you can do various wood storage boxes below, or just curve the access panel to get underneath the oven as well. What I recommend here on the facades is definitely get in touch with your reps or to get in touch with the factory, and we can walk you through that. There's some great resources available on the website showing you how to implement these and how to make things easy on the installation. And that's the slide tutorial that I talk about at the end. They've got, again, lots of great diagrams and such to help you out. Okay. Then we're showing here some custom finishes as well. That the top oven there in the top left corner is kind of cool. It's got that beautiful gold look to it. Beautiful or gaudy, you make your own choice there. Then it's just showing a tile installation there with a facade, and then on the bottom there, just kind of showing our newer the powder coating we can put on the bistros. But we can do powder coating on all of the fire deck, the Mountain Series, and the bistro. The next slide shows some tools that are available. We got like some really nice pictures and descriptions on the website as well for that. Looking at the arch options, you've got your standard arch at the top. Then you go to the low arch wide, which gives you a little more thermal headspace. So it's roughly 2 inches tall, but it's holding in more heat. So that's going to help your products when you want to do. We created that initially when the Neapolitan pizza phase kicked in about 6-7 years ago, and it works really well for that. And then you can also, if you want more of that traditional Italian oven style look, you got the arch option on the bottom there, the low arch narrow. To give you that look. And those are all it's the same oven. Those things unbolt and bolt right in. So if a customer had the standard and down the road they want to add a different one, not a problem. They just order, just call you up, get the part number, ship them out. It's the bolted. I just want to do it when the oven's cooled off a bit because it gets pretty hot. Venting options, we have a wide variety available. We offer the hoods. The hoods are manufactured by Gaylord, but we've had a long time partnership with Gaylord since the beginning of the company. And it's, we can, if the municipality allows it, you can do direct venting, and you've got the various hood options with curve, flat, eyebrow. I know that's going fast, but again, we're going to do a series on the venting on a whole section, so that's going to help out with that. Moving along here, we just debuted the debris mantles at, we had them last year at NAFM and the Pizza Expo and NRA. The great thing about that, you've got perforated top of that mantle, and then you've got 2 drawers inside of it. We can do the debris mantles for both the Fire Deck series and also on the Mountain series. It's a nice little add-on. It can be retrofit. If you've got even if you have a Fire Deck that's been around for 8 or 10 years, you can change that out. And it only takes. I've changed those out with Chef Mike Brockman before. It only takes minutes. It just depends how much clearance you have. Oh, that's my dog. But yeah, the debris mantle is pretty cool. I definitely recommend that as it's a great thing to talk to people about. The era now with the Yelp reviews. We've had a lot of our fast casual customers. You read some of the reviews and you'll see the customers are saying, man, there's debris all over the floor, because when they're going real fast, they tend to sweep things out of the oven and then they're going everywhere. They're on the mantle, they're getting on the floor. This kind of helps mitigate that a little bit, so you're not having so many issues. I think it's a great add-on. Any questions about the debris mantles? Has everyone seen them or not? Okay. Next would be talking about the bake shelves. These are really cool. It's just, we're basically utilizing the space that you already have inside the oven, but you're going to elevate a little bit. We can do this as you see in the picture there. The top one is just two freestanding shelves that go all the way across the back. We can put these in the Fire Decks, whether you have a 9660 or 8645, whichever one you have, we can make that work. If the oven has a decorative flame in the back, like you see on the second picture that's lower there, that one is same thing, freestanding shelf on either side of the decorative flame. In the picture, you can see they're showing, some of these small platter items. We have customers that put the garlic donuts they'll put up in there, and you're getting more temperature because you're up off the floor. Whatever you have it set at, you're getting more temperature because you're rising up into the dome. But this is a nice little add-on after the fact. If you get a client calling you back, hey, we've had our oven for a while. Any suggestions on some different things? This is a great piece. The debris mantle as an add-on down the road, and also the bake shelves. All here. Okay, so now we're going to switch over to the planches. We've been building planches both in gas. We started off with the electric plancha quite a while back. I'm going to say 10 years back, and the gas-fired units came about 7 years ago. We've been building the gas units and having some pretty good success. We have a large chain. I'm sure everyone's heard of Chipotle, and they've been we developed it along with them on the gas-fired unit about 7 years ago, and we've been partners with them since. We have available the 2, 3, and 4 foot on the gas plancha. The electric plancha is roughly 40 inches. The cooking zone is 40 inches left to right. The great thing with the plancha is that you really have zone control here. We advertise and back up that it is zero recovery. You can cook products in one spot. If you're doing burgers, flip them over, finish the cook, take them off, put more burgers on, burger after burger, for as long as you need. It's going to handle the load. Each of the zones in the gas planches has 2 infrared burners that go from the back of the plate to the front of the plate. So you have really good temperature control. And the temperature ranges from 150 degrees all the way up to 650 degrees on the gas. The electric is a little different. It goes from 300 up to 700 degrees. The nice thing with that, as you see in this, I don't know if it's too small on your screens, but showing a whole plethora of breakfast products there at different temperatures side by side. And again, you can do those items. You can flip them over in the same spot and do huge amounts. There's a great demo we do at the factory when you're visiting, and the culinary team will do all the breakfast on there. They'll have the English muffins, they have the breads, the bread is the English muffin, they have the eggs, the bacon, all the different items that go in there. So it really shows its versatility. And then also if you're just doing large batches, like on the picture on the right, you can load it up. That's, there's 45 hamburgers right there. If you can keep flipping those out, you can do some pretty great turns there. Is the grill top marks and how? Okay, great question, Drew. On the back of the backsplash of the unit, we've got some engravings that divides each of the lanes or zones, however you want to refer to it. That's a good thing. It's very faint though. You look in the unit and figure it out. So there's a as you notice, if it's a 4-footer, there's 4 zones, and you see that by the knobs in the front. Anyway, so we like to show the videos of the plancha and also the vertical rotisserie because they're showpieces. The planchas, you see how much capacity and what great coloring you can get off of the product as you're cooking. The GVR, you're seeing that flame, you're seeing the spinning, all this action going on inside there. That's it. That's why we would like to show that working along there. That's a very it's an economically priced item, the vertical rotisserie, and it's again the fact that you can show multiple products. You can have pork, you can have beef, vegetables, all in at the same time. It's available with 6 positions for of the various products, or 10. 10's the standard. And the capacities are great. You can do 15 chickens at once if you want to do some batch cooking. The ribs, same thing, 15 racks of ribs at the same time. But again, super versatile, very, very, very reasonably priced. Takes up about roughly the space of a double stack convection oven. So if they've got that available, you just have to have a drain that goes to a grease trap and also a water hookup on that one. Whoops, I'm not going there again. And that's what's going on. So since I got control of the slides again, I'm going to push back over. The first rotisserie you see there is our solid fuel rotisseries. Those are the first ones that came out early on in the company. We've got them in a multitude of sizes, but that's a horizontal orientation. You can get it just with the rotisserie, or as you see on here, you can get it with a charbroiler on the front. If your customer would like to have a solid fuel rotisserie with a gas-fired broiler on the front, we can do that as well. Then next to that is the Cascade series, which is gas-fired. And that's a great piece. You can get it with 6 or 10 spit locations. So that's really cool. It's got rear loading as well, front and rear. And again, all the flames in here is pretty nice. The Okanagan is a single spit rotisserie that mounts on top of our solid fuel charbroilers that mount St. Helens series. And that's really nice too. But again, this is all about your used to call it entertainment, grosserants now, and all these fun words that describe various things. But basically, fire and food spinning around. Great visual appeal. No questions. We're going to keep moving. All right, past the video. There we go. There we go. Okay, the next section we're looking at are the solid fuel charbroilers. We've got 2 styles available, or families, if you will. The Mount St. Helens, which is you can call a shallow box, because the next one is the Mount Shuckson, and that's a deep solid fuel charbroiler where you can use whole or half, split logs in there. The more popular is the Mount St. Helens. You can get in a variety of configurations. So we've got lots of different 5 sizes available. We've got a deep version and a shallow version as well. We can offer it up with shelves. We can put on a broiler shelf above the unit, all types of things. These are very popular, even in back of the house applications. You see them more in where you've got visions, where the clients can see into the kitchen and such. But good pieces. You couple these with the rotisserie as well. You put the Mount St. Helens. The Mount St. Helens. We'll put that on there. Then we're showing this nice. We're based on quality. We're trusted worldwide, and we're invested in the company. Kind of winding it down. That's the last slide there. Shows some of our partners and Mr. Travis working an oven right there, and at the beautiful resort up in just across the border from Canada, Semiyamu. I think that's the correct name. But you see, we have quite a few large clients that we work with for a number of years. If that's it, I'm done.